أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وخاتم النبيين وحبيب إله العالمين، العبد المؤيد والرسول المسدد، المصطفى الأمجد أبي القاسم محمد، اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين. الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. ولعنة الله الأبدية الدائمة على أعدائهم أعداء الله من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين. أما بعد، فقد قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه الحكيم وهو أصدق القائلين: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وإذا قيل لهم لا تفسدوا في الأرض قالوا إنما نحن مصلحون ألا أنهم هم المفسدون ولكن لا يشعرون. صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلى الله عليك يا رسول الله وعلى أهل بيتك المظلومين. صلى الله عليك يا رحمة الله الواسعة وباب نجاة الأمة. ما خاب من تمسك بكم وآمن من لجأ إليكم يا أهل بيت النبوة وإطرة الهادية. يا ليتنا كنا معكم فنفوز معكم فوزا عظيما. صلى الله عليك يا الشهيد السلام على المظلوم بلا ناصر السلام على الشيب الخضيب السلام على المقطوع الوتي السلام على الخد الدريم السلام على الرؤوس المفرقة عن الأبدان السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. All together. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. السلام الذين بذلوا مهجهم دون الحسين. صلوات على محمد وآل محمد. Respected brothers and sisters, lovers of the holy household of Ahlul Bayt, household of our beloved Nabi and Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. We are gathered here to commemorate and remember this great tragedy, this great uprising and this great revolution. And this great sacrifice to our beloved leader of martyrs and shuhada, Abi Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salatu wassalam. Before I start or continue my discussion, I will humbly request brothers and sisters to move a little bit forward, because always there are people who come afterward and then it's a bit of a problem. With one loud salawat on Muhammad and Ali Muhammad. Once again, salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Brothers and sisters, as you know that last night we started a discussion on a topic, understanding a phenomena, a issue which is challenging our ummah. And it is very crucial for us to understand, and it's very important for us to analyze. A lot of questions are in the minds of people. A lot of issues are raised around that particular phenomenon. And as we promised that we will, inshallah, over these few nights of Muharram, in commemoration of Karbala, in the first part of our discussions, we'll try to analyze and discuss and explain to the brothers and sisters this particular issue. Phenomena of Salafi thought, and another word for it, Wahhabi trend or thinking. We gave some background, and I'd like to, of course, I'm not going to repeat what we discussed in detail over an hour last night, that this discussion is not a sectarian discussion. That was my whole effort last night, to explain to the brothers. This is not an issue which is problematic for followers of Ahlul Bayt or Shia. It is problematic for whole Ummah. It was problematic always, and it is problematic. And again, we're not speaking about, as I said, and I would like to repeat this important point in my discussion, that we are not discussing a particular group here when we say Salafism or Wahhabism, but rather we are discussing a particular pattern of thought, an approach toward deen. Manifestation of that particular pattern of thought and understanding today is Salafi movement and Wahhabi movement. Of course, by being critical on them, astaghfirullah, we do not want to declare them out of fold of Islam or anything of that sort. No. And if we do that, we will be doing the same mistake which they themselves are committing, and we are critical of them. No. One of the serious problems, and inshallah in discussions will come, is the issue of takfir, or declaring people kafir and out of the fold of Islam. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Last night we tried to explain to you this present day Salafi movement and Wahhabi movement, based in, of course, with their center and capital in Saudi Arabia, supported by Saudi regime. We gave a little bit of history of this particular phenomena, this particular appearance of Salafi thought. And we tried to explain, I gave some statistics last night that what is today we see and where they are today in Ummah, there is not very easy fights and wars and bloodshed of Muslimin is involved over 25, 27, 30 years of wars. According to some historians, over 400,000 people were killed in this whole phenomena and process. From Yemen and Oman to Damascus to Iraq, all over the show. their wars to take the power. All those things, as I said, we explain, and I don't want to now go back to those discussions. This approach and this phenomena, we are not only one who are critical, but our Sunni brothers themselves are also strongly critical of them. I said yesterday that the first critique of this particular modern Wahhabism of last 150 years is started by Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab. The first critique came from his own brother Sulaiman ibn Abdul Wahhab, and then further, of course. There are a lot of ulama and scholars who have written books and who have analyzed and but again, as I said, that we're not going to confine our discussion to this particular phenomena or this particular people, but rather this pattern of thought. What pattern of thought we are talking? What approach we are talking? This is what we would like to discuss. And then we will find, and will try to find in history some traces of this particular thought. What we are facing is this existing Wahhabi or Salafi phenomena. If I want to quickly count and list some special attributes or main fiber of this approach, we find that first of all, it is a movement which declares itself as a movement of reform, a movement of purification. They said that we are here to purify the ummah which is indulged in kufr and shirk. We are the one who are pure. We are the one who are true followers of Quran and Sunnah. Therefore they say that they have three principles: Quran, Sunnah and Salaf Saleh. Quran, Sunnah of the Prophet and early pioneers, the pious pioneers, which means Sahaba and Tabi'in. Those, the generation which came after the Sahaba. That is one very important issue. Claim of purity, claim of genuineness, be the genuine. We don't want to take in between, we want to go direct to the source. Take it as it is. Result of this emphasis on purity, the second problem or second issue, that they are literalists. In other words, they are very sensitive about the words. They follow the literal meaning of Quranic and Sunnah text. Means they want to follow exact words of Quran and Sunnah. And it appears to be very attractive also, isn't it like that? It's very great. Somebody wants to say, I want to follow exactly what Quran and Sunnah says. Word by word, literal. I don't want to interpret. I don't want to bring justification, explanation, interpretation. No, just the word itself. Also, as a result, they deny the third important quality or issue there is role of aql and rationality. They say that Quran and Sunnah are the right, are the truth, are the guidance from Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why we need to use aql? Why we have to be rational? Rational for what? They have a serious problem with rationality, with the role of aql and intellect in understanding. Number 5, they have attitude of what we call it absolutism. Means they believe that they are the only people who are on the right path and on the genuine Islam. So what about remaining ummah? What about the whole world other than them? What is their position about them? They declare very clearly that they are out of the fold of Islam. Takfir, as I just now earlier also mentioned, declare them kafir. Therefore, brothers and sisters, it is very interesting that all Sunni ulama who have written books against Salafi and Wahhabi thought their first problem is here. They say that these people have used all the verses of Holy Quran and similarly ahadith of the Prophet which apply to kuffar and mushrikeen over the Muslimin. Salawatullah Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Another important issue, result of this approach, I'm taking you step by step. Reform, purification, and purification not possible without being literal. Once you are literal, no role for rationality. And when you have no rationality, then you are absolute and you are monopoly over your thought, in a sense that you don't allow anybody else to think differently. And whoever thinks differently is out, is kafir. And result is also, conclusion is also very clear. Then jihad is wajib and compulsory and farz against kuffar and mushrikeen. And there comes the element of violence in their thought, very, very strongly present. As I said, these are natural development of particular pattern of thought. That's what we see them today. I don't need to go in detail, we will inshallah go to. One last point I would like to add here. Again, because rationality is not there at all, and literalism is ruling over them. Therefore, in understanding of Quran and Sunnah, they confine themselves to literal meaning. And anyone who comes with insight, with something deeper, they have a problem with. And therefore they have a very, very strong problem with tasawwuf, for example, irfan, for example. Because these people are people of meaning and mana. And so on. So these are the major issues which we need to, inshallah, speak and talk about it. Naturally, these principal positions of this group or this thought has reflected in various ways. It is Now I can give you long list, but that will come, inshallah, as we take our discussion further. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. But let me little bit tonight take you back to history. Last night we gave you history of modern Wahhabism. It started by Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab around 150 years ago. But the question is that, is this thought did not exist, this approach did not exist before he came up with this thought at first time? No, that is not true. Tendencies and traces of this thought are there even in the time of the Prophet ﷺ himself. One very interesting hadith I would like to narrate for you. You see, hadith, I'm deliberately using word hadith because they have this terminology of hadith. Therefore they call themselves Ahlul Hadith. We are people of hadith. In other words, we are not people of ijtihad. We are not people of interpretation, explanation, rationalization. No. We are people of hadith. So therefore I would like to draw your attention to one hadith. Hadith is also mutawatir hadith, well recorded. Tabari alone by 12 different chains have reported. Bukhari narrated and others narrated. Overwhelmingly reported hadith. I will read for you this hadith, very interesting. And Abi Syed al-Khadari, Radwanullahi alayh, Abi Syed al-Khadari, this great companion and narrator, very well-known narrator, he narrates that we were with Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam while he was dividing ghanima, the booty of war, mal of ghanima, he was dividing among Muslimin. قال ابن عباس كانت غنائم هوازن يوم هنين. Ibn Abbas says that the booty which was distributed or divided among the people, it was booty of Hawazin on the day of the battle of Hunayn. Is جاء رجل من تميم, a man from tribe of Tamim came. Listen carefully. مقلص الثياب ذو شيماء بين يديه أثر السجود. Came with a very poor clothing and there was a mark of sajda on his forehead. All these wordings are very important, please. Has mark of sajda and ibadat on his forehead. And he said to Prophet, while Prophet was busy distributing, "A'dil ya Rasulullah, O Rasulullah, be just in distribution." Allahu Akbar. Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam turned back and said, "What you are saying? If I will not be just, then who will be just?" Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Holier than thou, as Christians say. More purer than, more kind and merciful than the mother. They said, "A'dil ya Rasulullah," Prophet said. Who can be more just than you? What do you mean by that I must be just when I am dividing? You want to advise me to be just? Summa qal, Abi Syed al-Khadri says, then Prophet said, Yati qawmu misla haza. Listen please, it's a very beautiful hadith. After 14 centuries, it looked like Rasulullah is watching this whole Ummah situation and reading for us. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Summa Ali said, I will not read whole Arabic very quickly, just to save the time. He says, very soon, after a while, Yati, there will be a nation coming with like him. يحسنون القيل ويسيئون الفعل. Allahu Akbar. They will be very beautiful talkers, but very terrible actors. Hum shirarul khalq. They are the worst creations. Summa wasafa. And then Prophet defined them, explained to them, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Silatuhum bil Quran, their connection with Quran. Okay, what will be their connection with Quran? Faqal, yad'una ila kitabillah, wa laysu minhu fi shay. They will invite toward book of Allah, but they will know nothing from book of Allah. Yaqra'un al-Quran. Oh, they will be beautiful qaris of Quran. Beautiful qaris of Quran. Everyone will have a CD. Yaqra'un al-Quran. La yajawaz taraqihim. Very amazing. But Quran will not go further than their tongues. That's it. This is their Quran. Finish. يَحْسَبُونَهُ لَهُمْ وَهُوَ عَلَيْهِمْ. They will think that Quran is for them, while in reality Quran is against them. ثُمَّ كَشَفَ النِّقَابِ عَنْ عِبَادَتِهِمِ الْمَغْشُوشَةِ. Allahu Akbar. And then Prophet exposed their deceiving ibadat and worship. فَقَالَ لَيْسَ قِرَاءَتُكُمْ إِلَىٰ قِرَاءَتِهِمْ بِشَيْءٍ وَلَا صَلَاتُكُمْ إِلَىٰ صَلَاتِهِمْ بِشَيْءٍ وَلَا صِيَامُكُمْ إِلَىٰ صِيَامِهِمْ بِشَيْءٍ. Oh, one day they will bring their namaz, your namaz will be nothing in front of their namaz. They will bring their fast, your fast will be no value in front of their fast. Summa أَزَاحَ النَّبِي أَنْ أَهْدَافَ. And then Nabi explained their purpose. فَقَالَ يَمْرَقُونَ مِنَ الْإِسْلَامِ كَمَا يَمْرَقُ السَّهْمُ مِنَ الرَّمِيِّ. Allahu Akbar. They will be out of Islam like an arrow comes out of Islam, like an arrow comes out of bow. Then Prophet ﷺ discussed some of their signs. What is their sign? Listen carefully. يَقْتُلُونَ أَهْلَ الْإِسْلَامِ وَيَدْعُونَ أَهْلَ الْأَوْثَانِ. They will kill people of Islam under the name of Islam, but they will leave the people of idol worshipping and mushrikeen. They will kill Muslims day and night, but they will never worry about Ahlul Awsan, people of idols. And then what he said? Muhalliqina ru'usahum. They will shave their heads and they will shave their mustache. And not only that, they will pull their pants also above their ankles. Man laqahum, then Prophet said, who meets them, falyuqatil. Whoever see them, it it is compulsory to fight with them. فَمَنْ قَتَلَهُمْ فَلَهُ أَفْزَلُ الْآجْرِ. So who fights with them, he got the best of reward. وَمَنْ قَتَلُهُ فَلَهُ الشَّهَادَةِ. And who is killed by them, he has martyrdom. This hadith is narrated in Muslim and in Bukhari and others, and Muslim ibn Majah, Hakim ibn Mustadrak, and so on and so on. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. In some of the wordings, very interesting. In some of the wordings, it says that they will come out. Very interesting. And among them will be a man who will have big breasts. Zusudai. And then they will be defeated and they will come again. And then they will come again. Now, my purpose of narration of this hadith was just to explain to you that this tendency is always in society. When some people are always trying to be very holy, very pious, more than when he's saying to, he thinks that he can advise Prophet and say, Ya Rasulullah, be just, then you can understand what he is thinking. This approach, where respect does not exist, please, where I am taking you, I don't know, you are with me or not. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. When their approach is so dry, when their approach is so rigid, they show themselves that they are very principled. Even in front of the Prophet, they stand and say, oh Prophet, be just. Allah. But they forget. But they don't remember and realize that Prophet is the one who taught them what justice means. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So in the Prophet's time they were there. And maybe now and then they here and there this type of people. The person mentioned here, his name is Harqus or Zuwal Khuwaisara, known as Zusudai, or men with big breasts. Alright. Then let me take you a little bit further. Time of Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wassalam. Their second appearance or this approach. Therefore, I just gave you in the start of my discussion main fibers of their approach, main issues there. This you will see common always, all the way. Imam Ali takes over the power, now without going in details in what conditions, in what background, in what complexities he took the power. Imam Ali had three enemies, listen carefully, very goodly. Naqisin, Qasitin, Mariqin. Imam has enemy who were munafiqs. Those were the people who were hungry of power. And they were fighting over control. People of Syria. People of Syria. I don't want to now go in details. Hizb Umayyah, fighting with Imam. Not ready to accept leadership of Ali ibn Abi Talib. Even according to Sunni standards, Khilafat of Ali ibn Abi Talib as Khalifa Rashid. They want to fight under the leadership of Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan. This was one group. But then there was another group, Naqithin. Those people who were not part of that group, but they were the people who were indulged in love of dunya, and Ali's justice was too much for them. They wanted special grants. They wanted special bonuses. I don't want to mention the names. Let us leave it. They also said, Ya Ali, we will support you, provided you don't cut our special bonuses. Ali replied by saying that I will return back to Baitul Mal what is gone out of Baitul Mal, even if it became meher and dowry of the woman. No. Ali does not have anything other than justice to offer. This group became a problematic group. But then there was another group. Please listen carefully. That is important in our discussion. And that was group of holy and so-called pious people. Again, purists. They also become enemy of Ali. So terrible enemies that finally they are the one who martyred and killed Ali ibn Abi Talib. Who are those people? Amir al-Mu'minin Ali ibn Abi Talib, while fighting with Muawiyah on the battle of Siffin. Siffin is far away from Iraq, in Syria. Very long battle also, took months. Very long battle. Very far away from Iraq, from his capital, from his base. And after a very tiring and long battle, Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib could manage to defeat basically Muawiyah. Battle was in the final stages. Maybe few hours left and whole situation was sorted out once and for all. All of a sudden, Muawiyah called Amr ibn As and asked him to do something. We are losing, we are gone, finish, do something. Amr ibn As, you have heard this, but quickly just to bring back this whole background, the historical background of this particular thinking, I am narrating you this story for you. Amr ibn As suggested, I got a trick. In Ali's army, there are plenty of stupid holis and pious. We can fool them. He said, how? He said, no, raise Quran on the spears and say to the people, stop, come back to Quran, let's not fight. And you will see it will work. So, okay, let's try. They raised all of a sudden on the spears, they put the Quran and they raised the Quran. Middle of the war. They said, hold down, peace, ceasefire. Why? Now we want to go back to Quran. Same people exactly, those people who have no sight, no understanding, cannot understand, is stuck in words. They came to Imam Ali and said, Ya Ali, Quran, we cannot fight against Quran. There's a Quran on the spears, in front of us is Quran. Ali ibn Abi Talib said, this is not Quran. This is, paper of Quran. Try to understand what is meaning of Quran and what are words of Quran. Please, are you with me? All the way where I am taking you. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. The biggest problem of this group of people or this phenomena or this thought is this. If we can call it thought, it's not, they don't believe in thinking, by the way. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. That they cannot differentiate between words and meanings. Imam was shouting, no, this is a trick. They want to use wording of Quran, that binded volume of Quran, the book of Quran, the paper format of Quran, to fight with meaning of Quran. Don't be deceived, don't be trapped by this trick. They said, no, this is Quran. Said, this is Quran, yes. All they were asking from them to come back to Quran, they were not ready to come to Quran. Now all of a sudden they raised Quran. No. And the person who is the main character in this drama is the same person who said earlier in the time of the Prophet, Ya Rasulullah, be just. Harqus, Zusudai, Zulkhoisra. Imam said, no. Malik Ashtar, commander of Imam, is in the forefront, far away from the camp, base camp where Imam Ali. He said, no, send a messenger to Malik, stop right away now. Imam said, no. They said, okay, then we will kill you. So why you will kill me? Because you are not surrendering to Quran. Look, again. Are you with me in the pattern, the approach? Don't agree with me, we'll kill you. Only one solution, we will kill you. Say, why you will kill me? Because you become kafir? Because you are not ready to surrender for Quran. Exactly the argument. You did not accept Quran, he will kill you. But this is not Quran. Imam has no option but send messenger to Malik. Malik, come back. If you want your Imam to live alive, come back. Malik didn't like it, but finally had no option, but he stopped the war. War was stopped. Now what to do? Say, no. Now we will do arbitration. We will do some compromise. We'll call a meeting. Say, okay, Ali, you appoint a representative. We will appoint also a representative. And those two representatives will sit together. Arbitration council, they will decide what must happen. Say, okay. Who will come from your side? They said, Amr ibn As, the most shrewd guy, he will come. Who will come from this side? Imam said, Malik Ashtar will come. He said, no. Again, same group of people who were saying, said, no. Malik is your friend, Ali. No, Malik can't go. Some neutral person go. Imam said, let Abdullah ibn Abbas go. He said, no. Abdullah Abbas is your family. No, he cannot go. So who must go? He said, no, we know one man who's an old man, and listen please carefully. Please listen carefully. He's a very good Qari of Quran. What is his name? Abu Musa Ash'ari. What is special about Abu Musa? He's a Qari of Quran. But time does not allow. Really, it's so important to understand the history. These people become a Jamaat of their own in those years. They were called Qurra. They were the people who used to recite Quran very beautifully. And it was very good for them. People used to respect them a lot. They were regarded as very holy people, very pious people, very nice people. Because they used to recite Quran. So they used to wear a special topi, a special cap. With one loud Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Come forward please. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So, therefore they called Baranasa. Baranas was the name of that particular cap they used to wear. They were called Baranasa, people of cap, because they want to be distinguished. We are the Qur'an, Qaris of Quran. You know how until today the same phenomena continues. If someone can beautifully sing while practically has nothing to do with the Quran, people will go die for that person. Someone comes to explain Quran, not 20 people will turn up. You bring a big Qari, 3,000-4,000 people will come. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So what is special about this Abu Musa? Abu Musa is opponent of Imam. He was not part of the Siffin. He stayed away. He said, no. He's a nice old man, pious man, very pious person, very holy. But he's holy, but he doesn't understand nothing. He's stupid. He said, no, bring him. He's Qari of Quran. Okay. again imposed on Imam Abu Musa to be representative of them. Now Abu Musa and Amr ibn As, they are sitting, busy discussing what to do. Amr ibn As started. He said, Abu Musa, first of all, he showed great deal of respect, Abu Musa, to make him even more a fool. What a pious person you are. What a great man you are. What a great qari of you, Quran you are. Oh, buttered him a lot. So after he prepared the ground, then he said, listen, this bloodshed among Muslims are killing Muslims. This is not right. This is terrible. We must stop. And we can only stop if we suspend both of them. Muawiyah also, Ali also. Let us bring a neutral person. Let us bring a mid-term government. Let us bring government of national unity. Let's suspend them. So Abu Musa said, yeah, you are right, man. You are right. Then what we should do? So you suspend Ali, I will suspend Muawiyah, and then we will come together, we'll call a meeting, and we'll start a new government of national unity, a mid-term government. So okay, fine. They agreed, nice and happy, they came out, crowd is waiting outside. So now Abu Musa said, okay, Bismillah, go ahead, you must say what you were supposed to say. Amr ibn As again brilliantly. He said, in front of pious person like you, Qari of Quran, grey beard, how I can say something? No, you must go ahead first. Bismillah. You must say first. No, Astaghfirullah. I can never be so disrespectful. Okay. Abu Musa again fell in the trap. He said, okay, Alhamdulillah, I'm very great, I'm very nice, I'm big, very pious, I'm very holy. It's okay. He said, we decided that we should suspend. So therefore, as a representative authorized by Ali ibn Abi Talib, I announce that I am suspending Ali ibn Abi Talib from Khilafat. Bismillah. He removed his ring like that. He said, the way I remove my ring from my finger, similarly I remove Ali from Khilafat. Okay, he said that, people got such shock of their life. What this? Then Amr ibn As came in front. He said, sorry, Abu Musa has suspended Ali from Khilafat, but sorry, I am not suspending Muawiyah from Khilafat. So there's only one Khalifa left now. No more two Khalifas, only one Khalifa left. So whole Ummah will come under the leadership of Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan. Make salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Now, when they saw this drama took place, the same people who imposed on Imam Ali to stop the war, who imposed on Imam Ali to accept Abu Musa Ash'ari, stupid person, to be his representative, the same people say, oh Ali, you have committed a great sin. He said, what sin I have committed? He said, you have surrendered to Hakamiyya. You have surrendered to people who are not pious, who are not just. So you become kafir, everybody else also become kafir. We must make tawbah now. Bismillah. Muawiyah is kafir, Ali is kafir, Amr ibn As kafir, everybody kafir, because we did something very terrible. Imam Ali said, but I did not ask for it. You people imposed on me this. He said, no. Yes, we maybe did it, but we made tawbah. You also must make tawbah. Imam said, sorry, I did not make any sin. I cannot make tawbah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. 12,000 people from the army of Imam Ali went one side. And this was a start of a movement called Khawarij or Kharijites. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. My time finished, otherwise I could have really little bit continued and explained to you some of the attributes of this Khawarij. But exactly the same as I said. First of all, no rationality, literalism, absolutism, fighting with anybody who differs with them. They created disasters in the history of Islam. They created disasters in the history of Islam. Allahu Akbar. That hadith which says, يَقْتُلُونَ أَهْلَ الْإِسْلَامِ وَيَدْعُونَ أَهْلَ الْأَوْسَانِ. They are the people who will kill Muslims, but they will leave people of idol worshipping and shirk. Exactly, it was true for them. This is the approach of Khawarij. What they did, inshallah, tomorrow night. Let me take you, brothers and sisters, to Karbala. Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. Assalamu alayka ya ibn Rasulillah. Hussain ibn Ali was also fighting with this pattern of approach and thinking. Hussain in Karbala refused violence. Hussain in Karbala raised the flag of rationality. Assalamu alaykum ya Aba Abdullah. Tonight is night of the 2nd of Muharram. Allahu Akbar. Imam's caravan is moving from Makkah toward Kufa. On his way, he is stopped by a group of people, an army under the leadership of Hurr ibn Yazid al-Riyah. Then we will describe, explain martyrdom of Hurr, inshallah we speak about it. Imam was compelled to change the direction. And then, brothers and sisters, while Imam was traveling and riding on his horse, history has recorded for us that Imam's horse, after reaching certain point, refused to move, refused to continue moving. What is wrong? Why this horse, this Zuljanah, doesn't want to move? According to some of the historians, Imam changed 7 different horses, but none of the horses were ready to move. Allah. Imam said, okay, is it any tribe or any people live here? They said, yes, there is a tribe of Bani Asad who lives in nearby, in this area. He said, okay, can you call some of the seniors of that tribe? These people came from tribe of Bani Asad. Imam alayhi salatu wasalam asked them, do you people know what is the name of this land, this particular land where we are stopped and our horse does not want to move further? Someone replied, this area is called Ghazariya. Imam asked, is there any other name? They said, Nainawa. Imam asked, is it any other name? They said, Shattul Farat. Imam again asked, do you know any other name also for this piece of land, part of land? They said, we can't remember, but let us call one of the old guys in our tribe. Maybe they will know. Allahu Akbar. They brought an old man. Imam asked, do you know any other name for this land? He said, yes, there is another name also. He said, what's the name? He said, Karbala. Allah. Imam just heard this sentences say, okay, we reached our destination. How? Oh, no. Manzilu now. This is the place where we will camp. That's all. Imam went on. Wow, no. Masro Abdul, no. And this is the land where our bodies will be chopped and Haza Madfaruna. This is the land where we will stay until day of Qiyamah. Allahu Akbar. 2nd of Muharram in Karbala, Hussein arrived on the land of Karbala. Allahu Akbar. Imam alayhi salatu wassalam arrived on the land of Karbala, asked everybody to come down and start camping and putting tents and so on and so on. Can I tell you something very amazing happened that day? Naturally, this conversation took place among the men. Ladies did not realize what happened. All of a sudden, some dust, like dust storms, very common in that area. A dust storm started. And Hussein's sister got very upset while this dust storm was going on. She approached Abu Abdullah and said, "Brother, oh Hussein, I don't know, I'm very worried. I'm very worried." Imam asked Sister Zainab, "Why you are so worried?" He said, "No, this dust storm which is going on, making me worried." Imam said, "But this is normal in desert, this dust storm to happen." He said, "No, not because of this dust storm, but because I can smell something in this storm." Hussein asked Zainab, "What you will smell in this dust?" Zainab said, "Imam, I cannot say. I can smell of your blood in this storm." Allahu Akbar. Zainab said this, and Hussein said, "Very true, oh my sister Zainab. We have arrived our destination. We have reached our destination. This is the place where we will be killed, where our bodies will be chopped, where our children will be imprisoned and robbed. This is the place where our bodies will be laying on the sands of Karbala." Allahu Akbar. Imam alayhi salatu wassalam asked this tribe of Bani Asad to come. He said, "This land belongs to who?" He said, "It belongs to us." Imam said, "I want to buy." They said, "Imam, you want to stay here for a few days? We don't have to buy. It's yours. We are most welcome. You have to stay." Imam said, "No, we don't want to stay here for a few days. We will be staying here till Qiyamah. I want to buy this land." Imam paid the price of that land. Give it back to Bani Asad. But while Imam was giving back to Bani Asad, Imam said, "I am giving back to you this land with 2 conditions." I am giving back to you with 2 conditions. He said, "What are those conditions?" He said, "Bani Asad, this land is yours, but the conditions are 2 simple conditions." What are those conditions? Imam said, "When very soon we will be killed and we will be brutally massacred, there will be no one to bury our bodies." Allahu Akbar. "Oh Bani Asad, when you see our bodies lying on the burning sands of Karbala, then you must come and bury these bodies." Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Oh Bani Asad. Oh Bani Asad, if out of the fear of enemies, if your men could not come, your woman can come and do. Allahu Akbar, this sentence is amazing. And even if your men could not come, ask your children while they are playing, they can come and they throw sand on our bodies. Allahu Akbar. Oh Bani Asad, the second condition is this, that O Bani Asad, when Allahu Akbar, we will be buried here, you will see people will come to Ziyarat and visit our grave. O Bani Asad, you will host them for 3 days. You will host them for 3 days. I don't understand sometimes meaning of this sentence, Allahu Akbar. But now we understand, oh brothers and sisters, for 10 days you cry for Hussein. For 10 days you change your lifestyle for Hussein. For 10 days you have a different lifestyle. But do you know, 14 centuries before, your master Hussein already organized for you, was concerned about you, that when you come and visit him on his grave, Allahu Akbar, you will be his guest. ألا لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين سيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون ألا لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين. Oh Allah, grant us tawfiq, has given us tawfiq to understand deen, as we are supposed to understand. Oh Allah, grant us tawfiq and love of Muhammad and Holy Muhammad. Salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayhim ajma'in. Matana Hussein.
Ya Hussein.